Hello everyone, it's Sloth, and today we have a really busted deck that uses cards that were completely busted but nobody was using them. So we fixed the situation and we will show the world the power of some new cards that you probably haven't seen at all in any of the decks. So this is ORZHOV'S midrange basically, and we have an amazing card named Extraction Specialist. Here it is. And yeah, we will talk about exactly the synergies, but I will tell you, this deck is insane. I was completely blown away by this one. It has so much value packed into the deck, and everything works with everything, even the Bankbuster. It has Crew 3, it works perfectly with the Extraction Specialist. Like, everything in this deck is right, and you will see exactly when we talk through the deck. So, just a trailer for you. And about the stats, a casual 71% win rate, and I do not believe this is like an accident. This deck is extremely powerful. It's so strong, and even on the bad draw, you can flip the game around really quickly if you get one or two good cards. So yeah, a lot of going on for the deck in my opinion. You have the matchups here, like unless you play like 50 games, it's probably not relevant. Of course, the stats are for Platinum, but I think the deck is like really competitive. It's really good, especially if you have very good draw. It's just such a beast mode that enemy cannot keep up because you get very often two cards at the cost of one, and enemy cannot answer two cards a turn, especially early game. So let's go into the deck and see why it's so busted. Alright, and welcome to deck introduction, where we will talk about this insane deck. And this is the big point of the deck, of course, as I mentioned, Extraction Specialist, a 3 mana, 3/2 lifelinker that basically gets you for free another 2-drop from your graveyard. And of course the creature cannot attack or block as long as this is alive. So this is why our card choices is something that has full value even without attacking. And of course you can see 8 cards that are best targets for this one. And you have Aspirant. So the Aspirant is of course great because you generally don't want to attack with this. But there's a hidden small synergy. If you get it back with Extraction Specialist, you can put of course the counter the turn that comes into play, and suddenly for 3 mana you not only have Aspirant, you have actually a 4/3 lifelinker as a blocker. And this is insane. Very often enemy has 8 or something with 4 toughness, so you can finally trade with this Raiju or Cavalier, whatever. Or enemy has smaller creatures, and this means that this 1 extra toughness makes you block without losing this creature. And this is game deciding, because if you have a lifelinker every turn that attacks or blocks, you won't get raised. And yeah, that's insane. And on the other side, you have Acquisition Expert. So the card that generally goes for this card, right? So moment this comes into play, it goes 1 for 1 with one of the enemy cards already. So if you get it back with the Extraction Specialist, basically you get 1 extra card, just as a, sideline. And what's better, those cards are pretty small on its own, right? Their value is hidden with the abilities. So this is why we have Wedding Announcement. Wedding Announcement makes all those little creatures actually quite threatening. And if you have like 2 or 3 1/1 creatures or 1/2 creatures, suddenly they become a board, like an actual board. And this has 3 toughness, which makes it a very good blocker. So this also makes stronger all of those small drops. And of course the tokens, the card, we know Wedding Announcement, it's a really powerful card, but with this deck, it's even better. What more? They crew Bankbusters like a champ. You will see one in one of the games, like, this makes huge difference, because you can transform your small creatures into big creatures that trade very well. So normally enemy attacks, and if you double block, he just munches both cards or one of them. If you have a huge creature like Bankbuster with Wedding Announcement, it's a 5/5. He knows that he cannot attack because you just crew and trade favorably. So yeah, that's also a bit of a hidden thing. Alright, so this is the first big interaction in the deck. What we have more? Wedding Announcement into Henrika. Henrika card that I originally didn't like as much, like it felt a bit junky and slow, but the more I'm playing with this one, it's really good. Like the fact that usually the big ability is this: each player sacrifices a creature. You want to, of course, have the deck that has a lot of tokens, so that's why Wedding Announcement is the prime target for this one. But even Acquisition Expert, like you get the full value after playing this card on ATB. So then you can just sacrifice it, it's basically free. And then when you can remove enemy 3 or 4 drop for this, it's insane tempo swing. And the fact that you can still draw a card, or you can have Flying Death Touch Lifelinker 3-4, it's just so good. Especially like this deck has quite a lot of healing. And this is one of the other things that I really like about this one. So look, you have 4 Lifelinkers in this way. You can grow them with Wedding Announcement, Aspirant. So this can not only heal you 3 a turn, but way more. We have Henrika that has lifelink 3 with Wedding Announcement 4. That's insanely high. We also have Emperor, 2 of them in fact, and of course it also heals you. We also have Meathook Massacre that can heal us even further. So all in all, this deck does a lot of healing, which I feel that really improves the matchup against Boros, because like when you have Wedding Announcement flipped and you play Extraction Specialist, very often this is game finishing move because they cannot finish you off, and the value that you have on board is just higher than theirs. So like really a lot of going on. Bankbuster seems like a weird choice for the deck, right? Because this is basically a card advantage card, and we are more of a mid-range, so we generally don't want to go into the longest game. We just want to go into the sweet spot between the short and the long game. Like we just want to play our cards, and when we play the last one, we overvalue and over-tempo the enemy. So that seems a bit not intuitional, but the fact that it is a creature, a very strong creature in fact, will win you many games, and you will see in the one of the show matches for like one of the games, this is insane, and it can really finish you the game that the enemy did not expect. They usually look at this and think, oh, he will just draw cards. No, this freaking thing will kill you. And you will see exactly how much power you can suddenly put into the board like randomly. Yeah, so that's it. We also have Lolth and Emeria's Call as a like late game things. Legion Angel is amazingly strong card. It's just 1 slot, but it just does stuff, and the fact that it has flying really helps you, because usually with Wedding Announcement, all those small creatures, Extraction Specialist, your ground army is usually really strong, and very often it's better than the enemies. So sometimes you have this problem that either enemy flies above your small tokens, or like you both have a lot of creatures and your tokens sure can hit once and then they trade poorly. So you don't really have good ways of finishing the enemy, and this is why we have Legion Angel. Like casting 3 of them is usually enough to finish the game, even if the enemy has creatures on board, and we aren't really a sweeper deck. We have Meathook Massacres, we have some removal, but basically we are not like sweeping as a rule. It's more of a, just making holes in their big defense. So that's it. I think Dread Fugue was the card that I like the least. I see its role, it helps of course, and it's a strong one. But if anything would be replaced, I think this would be it. I'm not sure for what, to be honest. We don't really have 1-drops, maybe Bloodchief first, but it's decent card, it's good card. So try with this version, and if you think about something better, you can write in the comments. I will gladly know, because I'm thinking about it myself. Alright, and that was the deck introduction. We are at high win rate, you have seen it, and I really do think that the deck is a bit busted. The moment you play Extraction Specialist, especially if you go Aspirant, then they remove it at the cost of 1 card and full turn, and then you play Extraction Specialist and you still get the Aspirant. And don't forget, if they answer this card, it means they are tapped out and they cannot answer the Specialist. And suddenly they need to main phase remove 2 huge threatening creatures, and this is 4-3 already. And when it attacks, it will be 5-4. It's insane. Like, the power spike you get at turn 3 with this deck is insane, and most decks cannot keep up with this. Not even talking about like all the other synergies that you start snowballing on the enemy. And also sometimes you want to use Henrika to sacrifice the creature you got from the extraction specialist, even if it's an aspirant. You might see this situation if you watch the videos closely, and sometimes it's better, because you get more power, this small creature that was extracted cannot attack. Sometimes this 1 or 2 damage makes a big difference. So this is the deck. If you like the decks like this, or control ones, or anything really, just go subscribe for the channel. It really helps. I really do appreciate everyone that subscribed. The next goal is 1000 subscribers, so I'm hopeful that we can get there, and huge thanks to anyone that helped to do it. Like, we are halfway, and that's insane. Like, a few months ago I wouldn't think it's possible. It's all thanks to you guys, so really thank you for that one. And without further ado, let's go into the games, and I'm pretty darn sure you will enjoy those, especially when we smack some Boros. Alright guys, so we have pretty good start. We don't need white until turn 3, and that's perfect, because that's when we will get it. So like with Pelakka Predation as the first round, it's all pretty perfect so far. I'm very hopeful for this game, and let's hope that it will be enough. I really hope it dies, then we can get it back with this extraction specialist, which would be perfect. If not, we should probably start spamming the winding announcements. Like, it's really good curve with Acquisition Expert, because you can start attacking and drawing cards really quickly. I'm not sure, maybe Royal Eruption, and we know exactly what we play against, so Adversary, second. We might even just, you know, go for it right now. Like, if enemy attacks, we can just... Okay, that's interesting. I wonder what he will do with the rest of the turn. Nothing, it seems. Huh. We definitely play this. It will be wedding announcement, of course. By the way, target creature from your graveyard, just to be sure, you know? Alright, so wedding announcement probably. Do we want to attack? I don't think so. I think we want to pressure. And he will do play with fire. Okay, that's smart, because that prevented this play. But still, wedding announcement is as good as the other card. And you know, it builds in value over time, so we are really happy. If we draw a land, of course we don't block, especially versus Trample, it's just super bad. And right now, we can just play Henrika. And we need to do it now, of course. Each player sacrifices a creature, maybe this one. Easy. And we get another. Man, like, this deck is just freaking beast. And the fact that this has lifelink is just amazing. Like, I really like the card. I remember, even through like the announcements phase, that was a big card. It's not used, but it's definitely extremely powerful. In the right deck, you know. That's a good call. This will be a bit problematic, I think. We could not attack. No, I think it's Extraction Specialist is a big thing, so we need to play it. So our next turn is a bit set. What do we do with the rest? Probably like transform it, right? Yeah, transforming seems to be the play. Especially with this turning out, then it will be really huge. I would really like attack with this. Like, we are at 8. That's a bit scary. And yeah, I think if we trade, we do it later. That's actually a pretty good one. Still, I think this is the play. Because it limits his options, so basically if he had a 2-card plan, it's broken right now. So for example, remove Henrika, because he knows it will transform. So if he had something for this, oh, that's really strong. He could cast it. Alright, and let's transform. Man, it's so tempting to just go for the lifelink. So how does it exactly work? Put a counter on target, so it can be Raiju as well. So it can be 4/4, then we double block, I guess. Honestly, it seems pretty good. I'm greedy, but we get more life this way. What are cards that can kill our creature? Not really anything. You know what? It feels risky, but the fact that we get additional lifelink might be a big difference. And if that's his card, I think the game is done. I don't think it's enough. Like, have you ever thought about this attack, bro? Like, what's up? Evil laugh, as every day lately. And that's why. Man, like, Henrika completely murdered this guy. That was not close. And his attack was pretty awful, but I have noticed that Boros players just keep attacking, and if it doesn't work, they just leave the game. Like, they don't have any kind of plan behind, except just pressing attack all. Alright, we are going first. We don't have a lot of lands. We need to play this one first, unless we want to pay life. We need 2 lands to make it great. And we can, worst case, I guess, go for the Bankbuster. Man, this is... I think we pay 3 life. It's just too important. It also gives us information how to play. Whoa, that's interesting. That's interesting. I think it's make disappear, right? Because these answers are wedding announcement. And we don't care as much on this one, especially when we know about it. Okay, so this is Bankbuster, definitely. And when we can start doing cards, you know, and we can even crew it very quickly with Henrika. Of course, it's pretty bad play, but you know, we can. Paying 3 life hurts here quite a lot. Honestly, you might just go for the Fable. It seems a bit awful though. But it's Fable, man, like it's Fable. I will honestly do it. Just because it's Fable and it's so problematic for the rest of the game. Like this, like Fable means that we need to hit Meathook Massacre at some point. And that's incredibly annoying. Like I'm being annoyed even talking about it, so yeah. And Henrika is perfect after wedding announcement. So basically how you want to always play this, wedding announcement, token into Henrika sacrifice. That's your play, that's your goal. And we successfully made enemy really not have stuff. He also doesn't have blue mana, but it's not the thing that really matters. Let's sacrifice a creature. I know he can take it back, but he needs to pay 4 mana, and we can block with the token if we really care. And it's an incredibly slow play, and it means that he won't react to anything, so it's not what he wants. He wants a free attacks every turn without any mana investment. Like the same with the Hive, he can attack. But yeah, out of options. I think this Fable removal won the game basically. The Fable would be such a pain. Shaman into cycling all the lands from his hand, and then we have Kiki Jiki, and we basically have to hit Meathook or Vanishing Verse or we lose at some point. I really wanted to avoid this one. Like, you know what? As long as we can draw cards, I'm happy with this one. I really would prefer that we drew something to get to 3 mana. But you know. Oh man, that's so brutal. What? Era of Enlightenment. Scry, gain life, exile, and it's transformed. So basically crap. Let's go with the Naturalis because that's the only good card here. Like, not exactly wedding announcement is pretty good, but you know what I mean. Alright, so we definitely won the acquisition expert, but if we whiff on the land, we have to go with the Bankbuster to draw cards. So if I knew that I will have a 3 mana next turn, I would definitely not play this one. Alright. Oh, we don't have white mana. I just realized. Interesting. And enemy will have wedding announcement before us. That's super bad. So the play, as usually in control, is to not do anything. The real enlightenment is to not do ever anything. Oh, so he didn't hit the third mana as well. Like, I guess we could kill this, and that would save us a lot of mana. Or life. Oh man, but I would prefer to draw a card just to make sure that we hit the land next turn. I think it's a bit more... like, it's better investment. We are both stuck at our mana a bit. It had to be a pain, man. Oh man, that's awful. That's so bad. I guess we could tap it and cast Pelakka on the wedding announcement. Oh man. Like, it seems like super awful choices, to be honest. It hurts my soul. Disclaimer, I am not happy about this play at all. Man, we had to draw it so late, and we even were behind with wedding announcement for the full turn. I think maybe next turn Pelakka Predation is a thing. I'm not sure. We want wedding announcement to just make sure that our tokens are 2-2 as quickly as possible. Yeah, I think it should be removal at this point. Yeah, we destroy the Kami and then play Acquisition Expert. It seems to be the best play overall. Especially with the Bankbuster, like, we have infinite cards basically. So why not use them? I would trade. I'm sad he didn't go through with this attack. Okay, that's a land. You know, that's a land. And we'll predate them. I still think it's wedding announcement. Like, this is really the core of his deck, because he has a lot of small creatures and he wants them to grow. That's basically the idea behind his deck. I don't want Acquisition Expert because he will get back the Kami. Like, he will discard the Kami and then take it back at the closest situation. Like, this is enchantment. When it dies, he gets all the Kami from the graveyard back. Mishiko will be a thing. Oh man, this is scary. This is getting scary. And I have to Infernal Grasp the Kami. I'm so happy they aren't Mishiko, because we would be dead by now. But even with this crap, we have a hard situation. We cannot meet, like, we didn't hit any Meathook and things like this, and we were so mana screwed at the start. Like, it does hurt. Right now we have no choice really, and we go to 6. That's not a lot. However, next turn our wedding announcement becomes a thing. He can remove it, but it costs him quite a lot. Yeah, and also now, like, we will draw the card, right? Yeah, so we can use Bankbuster as a blocker and then draw a card at the end step, so that's why this is better. Maybe we should be more aggressive, but I just cannot see. Yeah, it's coming. Smart choice. Fortunately, nothing goes in the graveyard, so he needs to make something die, and only then he gets it. However, the companion is a big problem, big issue. So let's play another Bankbuster. Hard. I think we need to go on the defense. Like, at some point we should have enough to just smork him really quickly. It has to be our plan, right? And we got rid of his wedding announcement. Okay, sure. But still, we can crew very cheaply before it triggers. This is full turn from the enemy. So like, I mean, let's go like this. And I don't see a reason to not do the same to this. So this is very similar power, but it's just a bit better because they can, you know, trade better without losing anything. So now he doesn't want to attack, which is like obvious. Thanks to our incredibly smart play. Yeah, of course. Lifelinker is really huge here. It's still really hard. I'm not sure what to do, to be perfectly honest with you. Our creatures are not the best right now. So I think the Acquisition Expert is a thing. We probably play Legion Angel right now. Like, going by air might be our saving grace. And we have a lot of charm blockers. We also might hit a wedding announcement at some point. I guess we missed the land. So do we get the Bankbuster? Like, I mean, I guess. Let's do it. Okay, it's not a land, so we actually made the worst play in the end. But if that was a land and we draw land next turn, we actually get one additional mana this way. And it might be huge, so I went for it. Yeah, enemy creatures will be such a pain. But one Meathook wins the game. And we have quite a lot of those. And we can draw a lot of cards here. So, like, I'm not sure, but as long as he doesn't have trample, by the way, and he makes those mistakes, so he might want to get Kami back. They have trample, they're actually worse than the rest, so I don't think we kill it. Let's go to blockers. We want this to die and this to charm block, so we could just crew the Bankbuster and block this, but then the enchantment goes into the graveyard. And we don't want anything with trample in the board, because we cannot deal with it. And this is why enchantment decks play stuff with trample of flying. Because it doesn't matter if it's 100-100 or 5-5. We just block it with one token. And I think he knows about this synergy because he discarded the Kami as his choice. Sure. Man, this game will be hard. It will definitely be very hard. Like, the pilot is the choice, of course. It's after attack, no sense in crewing. Alright, my turn. Not the hottest one right now. I guess we go for the acquisition. Like, Aspirant is pretty tempting here, because when it charm blocks later, yeah, like, I think it's okay. Oh, but we might not have enough mana if we don't hit the correct one. Huh. So we can maybe just go for the double charm block. Is this any good? He has no trample, so we can charm block very easily. We definitely need to start attacking him with Legion Angels. I think we need as many Legion Angels as we can. Like, we need to get somehow the damage. We can crew if we care. I don't really want to block with this one, right? So why not? I mean, why the hell not? Counter goes on the flyers. And we don't want to crew the other one. So this and this attacks. You know, that's a lot of damage. That's already 9. And he has no lifelink. I think he might not be able to kill us next turn, but it will be very close very quickly. Next turn we need to spam the board with a lot of small creatures, just to sacrifice all of them to block, and hopefully our Legion Angels can finish the job somehow if he doesn't get the lifelink. Like, the only reason we have the chance is that this is a very bad version for the deck. So those creatures don't really do much. Yeah, that's a big attack. So definitely block, and a block. We have to do it like this. That's so close. Yeah, but we can crew, right? That's a decent draw, I think. So we played this, and the extraction special. Is that enough? I think it's enough. It's 9 damage and 8. Yeah, we just win the game. Man, we actually made it work. Enemy misplayed it so much. And suddenly, just like this, let's go with Aspirant because that's even more power on the board. Cruel. Easy. Oh yes. Oh yes. Crew old, like angels driving bankbusters. Is that not the reason you are here? Oh man, he actually completely fucked up this game and he actually lost this. I cannot believe. Like, everything from card choices to how he drove this game was just the reason we won. I'm proud of this one. Alright, so this is pretty bad hand. We definitely need a 2-drop. This doesn't really do anything, so we don't really want to play it on curve. I still think we keep it because we have like 3, 4, 5 drop, and there's high chance we draw, I don't know, some kind of 2-drop, you know? Top skill in Magic, that's how it looks. If we were a bad player, we would draw a 5-drop. But of course, we are just a great player, so that's the deal. And Aspirant is pretty good here. Like, honestly, the fact that it keeps growing and we can get it back with the Specialist is just insanely strong. And remember, you can start pumping this with lifelink. Perfection. Oh, I'm so happy. Have you ever seen the max value from the Extraction Specialist? Because you will, right now. Man, we just played 5 mana. It's insane. It's actually insane. And we have 4-3 lifelinker on top of Aspirant for 3 mana. This is just busted. This card is insane. Like, how do you even compete with this? He just wasted card, full turn to kill the creature that came back by the way, with really no drawback. Especially this will die at some point. He cannot even raise. Like, if he will raise, that's even better for us. Alright, so I think this is the play. I don't really want to attack, to be perfectly honest with you. I think we play a Wedding Announcement and then Henrika next turn. I think that's the play. So do we bait the attack? Not really. For a moment I was scared that I maybe missed, enemy has white, has blue. And we go for the tap land, of course, we put the counter here. Even though the lifelink is amazing, in this situation this is just extremely prime target. I think this will die very quickly. So this is why we need some backup creatures that are scary. And let's hope he will oh, that's so perfect. You can't even believe how perfect this is. I might even sacrifice the Aspirant just to kill Sorin. Man, this is just insanely good. We have so many black cards that will go for the black here. So, oh, we won't have mana for Aspirant, right? Okay, so we need to deal 5. Bye-bye, Aspirant. Oh, we have a counter. Never mind. Never mind. Never. Oh, but we still... Yeah, okay, never mind. Double never mind, because I thought that we can then use Aspirant, but it cannot attack, right? So we attack with this, and then we have to sacrifice either Henrika or Aspirant. So unfortunately, that's an easy choice. And now the Aspirant, it's not the sacrifice trigger, okay? Let's go for this one. Let's make it big. Sorry, Aspirant. I'm really sorry. But killing Sorin is just too important. We also get additional card, I believe. Easy. Card advantage. On top of card advantage. On top of card advantage. Like, man, our value is just through the roof. Enemy cannot even raise. Like, not versus this guy. Are you a guy? I'm not going there. Alright, so let's play the land. And honestly, like, it's Vanishing Verse, right? Meathook Massacre can be a thing, you know? Actually, this is interesting choice. I think we still milk some extra value and draw card with this. We cannot go for the Meathook because we kill our own creatures. I really want to Vanishing Verse this. It means we need to discard something. Oh, you know what we can do? Ah, that will be smart. Prepare for smartness. That's the smart play. And now, before we declare attackers, we can... Oh man, actually, this is pretty good removal. Like, this is perfect. Yep. Now we have 2 mana. So I think we discard the Meathook Massacre. I think that's okay. And now we just go attack with everything. Seems pretty good. Yeah, so we can get rid of those face stops. I just wanted to be sure that we don't miss anything. And given he has Tenacious Underdog, I will keep the Vanishing Verse. We draw a card. This will have basically a haste effect, and Henrika will transform, so we pretty much kill the enemy next. Man, this deck is so insane. I didn't think it would be so extremely powerful. Like, I cannot believe how strong it is. Like, if you go as Extraction Specialist on curve with enemy removing your 2-drop, it's just insanely strong. So if we kill it, we don't really get much, right? So I don't think that's the case. And he exiled a lot to get this. What's funny, he doesn't really win in the long game as well, because we still get all the value on top of this stuff. Emeria call, we don't have 1 land. I think we just go for the Lolth. Like, sure. And how will you remove Lolth on top of this board? Like, we are attacking you for 8 anyway. And I'm keeping Emeria's call. That will be a game finisher. Enemy has only 4 mana. It's not Blood on the Snow. It's not Meathook. Like, he is just not doing anything against our deck. Even with exiling half of the hand with the March. Like, we demolish this guy. Okay, we are going second. We have heavy removal hand, so Pelakka Predation will be first, of course. Just to go into 3 mana territory. And when we have Lolth, you know, we want to cast lands on curve all the time. Alright, this one... Which is better? Exile. Does the graveyard matter here? Not really. We do it right now, so he cannot get mana from Giada. Because we will use this and we will lose the life, so it's not really like whatever the... how do you say it? What is it? Wow, it actually did matter. Who would think? Who would think? I will finish the thought in a second, but right now we have other things that we have to attend for. Wedding for the Henrika for future turn. So basically we will lose this life. It doesn't matter whether we lose it now or in the future, right? That's a pretty insane draw, by the way. But there is a high chance that he will play into it a bit too heavily. And that's our chance. Let's go like equal mana, let's say. We sacrifice. So I hope he will put all the counters here and then we can attack, because no sense to put it on Aspirant as it cannot attack. So yeah, I think the counters goes here, and in a way they will be wasted at some point. The 4 mana is extremely scary. It's but it's not ORZHOV, so they don't have this enchantment thing. That's interesting. This seems to be protection spell, but I do not mind. If he has it, then it's fine. A Ganjo? Wandering Emperor. Okay, I see. Probably should have seen it coming.
Remember your training.
I guess. What do we have here? Right now, nothing. But this seems pretty fun. You know, the only card he has. Sure, bye. And we still get the Infernal Grasp. So, all in all, I'm pretty happy about this one. So we get 6/6 or 6/7 in the board. That's quite a lot. I think we do not attack. And I think he will put the counter here, because then he can go around the ground army and then we target and kill it. That's the plan. And from the next turn onwards, we actually start having a lot of stuff going on for us. Like, Wandering Emperor is really good. Sure. First counter. And we want to bait another one. Perfect. Now let's see those attacks. I should probably read the card. When enters the battlefield or dies, you may exile another creature card from graveyard. When you do, put on each creature you control other creature type. Angel, warrior. You ain't no warrior, you ain't no cleric. Sure, bye. Perfectly as we wanted. So we are at 8, but enemy cannot deal any more damage unless he plays another flyer. And we still have the cave, right? Cave can be really important here. Okay, so now you get your buff creatures, but there's nothing to buff, right? I would really like to have the cleric. I think it's probably Lolth at this point. Huh. Yeah, it's definitely Lolth, because all the spiders get buffed. And who doesn't love buffed spiders, right? I don't think there's a point in attacking. Spiders will do the job next turn. Oh, that's brutal. And that's why Emperor is not as great. Like, it's strong, of course. It's an amazing card, but in this particular situation, it doesn't extremely change. Like, the -2 is the big thing, and, like, you know, we need to have something tapped for it to work. He needs to attack because Lolth is just better. Oh, this one is interesting. This one is so interesting. Okay, what do we do? So, like, we could attack with 4 of those, and then Emperor will die. Then we can cast the Extraction Specialist, I guess. We could also go double Spider and Cave. Oh no, we don't have enough thingy. Alright, definitely double Spiders. He can block with 2 of them, but then we need to Meathook for everything. That's not perfect. Our board is pretty good. I guess we make new spiders, right? So maybe it's not as bad. Let's go like this. I want to see what happens. If I was off camera, and by off camera I mean you have no camera, but you know what I mean, I would probably think it through quite a long time. Alright, so Emperor is done, and that's pretty sweet.
Never done for good.
So I'm pretty sure this means Extraction Specialist. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Never mind. Never mind. He will get baited so hard into this attack. He might even put the counter on... No, he will put it here. Are you freaking kidding me? From the top like a champion. Like a champion. So basically we have top deck wars right now. That's an awful target, you should never do it. This counter was just a huge mistake. So, you know, I don't mind. This is basically a top deck war. And we are definitely winning this one. Oh yeah, feels good. But he made quite a lot of mistakes, to be honest. He went really all in with the counters. And then you need to be careful, because one removal destroys your 3 value of turns.